Cannabis Connection in the house.
420 boys.
For the extreme retro review for ECW. January 23rd, 1997. 57 minutes and 28 seconds for extreme retro review number 247. If you have the coveted, illustrious, and highly elusive tape trader version of this show. My man to the right of me watches this show via the WWE Network, and momentarily he's going to give you his thoughts and views as well as the time from that streaming service that is $9.99.
So, the date for the WWE Network was January 21st, 1997. And the time was 47 minutes and 21 seconds. And I feel like after last week's show when the Surgeon General said that ECW could be bad for your health, like you probably should start mentioning that when you tell people you listen to the tape traders and shit, because I think like that's like the law or something. When the Surgeon General say something, and if you promote it, you gotta disclose that the Surgeon General say you might die if you watch the tape trader, or at very least become a vegetable. Nevertheless, I digress. So yeah, like I said, 47 minutes, 21 seconds. The show was good again. Picked up nicely from last week. This show had one of the best openings that ECW's had in a long time. I was very thrilled for the show to start like that. So I would definitely recommend it, and also the Eliminators are in there, so if you're a fan of the Eliminators, stay tuned for that.
So we start off with Joey in the ring opening the show. He starts to speak, but he stops to warn Tommy Dreamer, who's at the Eagle's Nest, that the triple threat are behind him. Yeah. To no avail, though, because the Putz gets beat up. Yeah. Multiple garbage can shots by the Undead Bulldozer and a single-arm DDT on the can by the franchise Shane Douglas.
Oh, they beat the shit out of him.
Speaking of trash, they throw him off the Eagle's Nest to the platform below, and they all celebrate.
Yes, rightfully so.
Damage Control, a man who looks like Francois Petit, tend to Tommy. Terry Funk comes out to throw chairs at the triple threat, and he scurries the heels off and then runs over to Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, he's very frightening.
The place where Tommy Dreamer is at is very narrow. Tommy gets loaded onto the gurney, bloody as shit. They roll him out towards the back, and out of nowhere, Wildfire Tommy Rich decks Funk with a chair, tips over the gurney with Tommy Dreamer on it, and continues the assault to both Putz and Funk.
Yeah. Oh man, I became Team Tommy Wildfire Rich at that point. And shit, I tried so hard not to spoil it last show and shit. I talk about how fat he is and shit, but he's so worth it and shit. Good job, Tommy Rich. This Corona is for you.
We come back to a frazzled Joey Styles as he starts the show over, and he brings out Taz and Fonzie. Taz claims that he ain't hurt no more. Fonzie talks shit. Taz tells Joey to hug the corner and shut the fuck up. The crowd chants Sabu, and Taz replies that you're going to have to yell a little louder because he's 90,000 miles away because he's so loyal to the ECW fans. Nice fanny pack, Taz. He talks shit about Rob Van Dam, too. Rob Van Dam is in Japan as well as Sabu, and when he could be in Philly, getting choked out by Taz. And as far as Sabu goes, whenever Paul gets the balls to make the call, whenever Sabu gets the balls to sign the match, Taz will tear him limb from limb in 5 minutes. The crowd chants bullshit. Taz starts to talk, but he's like, man, fuck Sabu. I felt that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Taz then calls out a fan for siding with Taz against Sabu. Buries that nigga. Gets the crowd back on his side by burying this geek fan in the crowd. Just old-fashioned heat that I love.
Oh, shit.
The super fans clap like bitches, led by OG Sign Guy and the Neck Beast.
Oh, what's up, Neck Beasy? Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it feels good to be back. I know I said that last week and shit, but spoiler alert, we record this shit the same day and shit. Surprise. So it still feels good to be back and shit. At any time, I could see Neck Beasy making a complete and utter fool of himself, especially when he goes into full seal mode and shit with the you know what I'm saying? Like it brings me joy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to see somebody nerd out so hard like that. Like it makes my heart sing and shit.
We have an ECW spot for the November to Remember 1996, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 231.
You're welcome.
We have bumpers for February 1st, February 7th, February 8th, and March 1st, 1997. Shout out to the motor outside.
Thank you.
And this week on the Hardcore Hotline, we have an interview with a returning Extreme superstar. Raw results will be posted before they air, and it's put up or shut up time.
Come on, somebody.
Will ECW be on pay-per-view this week on the Hotline for $1.99 per minute? From ECW Home Video, we have a spot for Extreme Warfare Volume 2. Recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 243.
You're welcome.
We come back to a match. ECW World Tag Team titles. The Eliminators. Perry Saturn, John Cronus versus Axel Rotten and Devon Dudley. We have Taz on color commentary. I must note the last time he was on color was Extreme Retro Review number 125, Enter the Sandman.
You're welcome. Okay.
Taz puts the champs the fuck over and buries Axel Rotten and Devon Dudley at every opportunity.
I can see why he did Axel for sure.
Claims that they've never been in the gym. He calls them fat asses. I want to say he was beta testing his shtick back then. So when Taz talks about in shoot interviews that he was working the announce team out of nowhere, it's a complete lie. He was working this shit back in 1995 and 1997, respectively. Shout out to 1995 and 1997 Hot Stuff Hollywood.
Oh man, yes indeed, because we definitely get better, and me in particular.
Extended squidash. Axel eats telegraphed elimination.
Yes!
For the win. I gave it 2.5 stars. Post-match, they do the karate respect thing to Taz. Taz reciprocates. HW thoughts.
Oh shit! Speaking on the last part real quick and shit, that was real dope and shit. You know what I'm saying? How they bow to each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, man, anytime I get to see total elimination, I'm gonna mark the fuck out and shit. And Axel Rotten, his fat ass took one for the team and shit. And I don't know, that might be my favorite tag team maneuver of all time.
We have bumpers for February 1st, February 7th, February 8th, and March 1st. Moving on. We have t-shirt spots for Taz, the ECW Hazardous to Your Health shirt, the Hardcore Cafe t-shirt, the It's Not For Everyone t-shirt, and a Sandman t-shirt. Moving on. Back with Joey at the Nest explaining the card change because Tommy Dreamer got beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
Now, Terry Funk wants the Undead Bulldozer in a match. Bubba Ray Dudley and Anthony got changed up because Franchise put a bounty on Anthony.
Yeah.
So the bad crew comes out. They get beat up.
Yeah, Bubba bitch ass go try to protect this nigga and shit.
Devon and Axel Rotten come out. They don't fare any better. Franchise gets on the apron and demands to do it himself. Himself. As he throws up the triple threat sign. Cuck and the Undead Bulldozer do the run-in, beat up the faces. Anthony gets demon dropped through a table. Single arm DDT through the rest of the table.
Yes.
And Shane officially reforms the triple threat. HW take.
Oh, man, when they threw up the John Cena sign and shit, like, I marked the fuck out and shit. Like, it's just like, oh, shit, my bad. Crazy as fucking shit that, you know, I don't know, like, that anti-monitor shit, like, I guess he went to the future and shit, became the franchise, and took the hand signal for a triple threat and all that shit from John Cena and shit. Anyway, I still ask the question, why Cuck Candido? Like, it's like you remember in school when they, kindergarten, they ask you which one doesn't belong and shit? You know what I'm saying?
One of these things is not the same.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, Candido looks like Shane's son. Maybe that.
Francine ends the segment by telling everyone to kiss her ass. I love this bitch. We have a February 1st spot, a Taz, Sandman, t-shirt spot, House of Hardcore spot, February 7th, February 8th, and March 1st bumper to end that Shilorama. Moving on. From ECW Home Video, we have Natural Born Killers, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 215.
You're welcome.
We come back to Desperado by the Eagles. Terry Funk versus the Undead Bulldozer Brian Lee is coming up next.
All right, so you don't have to put any names on this and shit, but have you ever used the bathroom or seen a toilet behind a bitch that dropped a deuce and was on her period and forgot to flush and shit?
Absolutely not.
When I was working at Executive Caterers and shit, I used to clean up. I was on the cleaning crew over in third shift and shit. And, man, bitches is so fucking disgusting. So that, anyone who's had that experience and shit, that is the embodiment of Terry Funk and shit. So that's what I saw on the screen. I had flashbacks. Like, I thought I was 19 again and shit. Cleaning bathrooms and shit. So this nigga came, like, you ever seen, like, Tales, Twilight Zone or some shit, like a nigga fall asleep and did, like, his worst nightmare just come to life and start fucking with him and shit.
We have a BWO t-shirt spot moving on. We have a Raven t-shirt spot moving on. We have a February 1st Taz Hack t-shirt spots, House of Hardcore spot, Catalog Shield, February 7th, 8th, and March 1st bumper. And moving on. So we come back with Terry Funk versus the Undead Bulldozer Brian Lee. Lee suckers Funk into straddling the rail, jump starts the heat.
Yeah, go American Badass.
He reopens the cut from earlier, works on the knee with a chair after escaping the knee shit. Funk takes it back outside and uses a chair to come back.
Yes.
They go back and forth in and out the ring and ringside. Outside of hope spots and flurries of offense from Funk, Brian Lee is completely in control of this match. We have another comeback from Terry Funk, but Franchise and Cuck do the run-in to beat down Terry Funk. Funk gets the demon drop through a table.
Yes.
Triple threat roll him in for the pin, for the win. I gave it 3 1/4. Lee gets on the mic and shoves Mullinope down to the ground. And I bumped it up to 3 3/4. HW, thoughts of the match?
Up until that fucking that point right there and shit, up until where he pushed Mullinope, I thought everything was awesome. I thought the match was a tad bit too long though and shit, cause, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like eating too much ice cream to the point where you get sick and shit. It's like, all right, let's wrap this shit up and shit. But he beat the dog shit out of Terry Funk, and I was so proud of the American badass Brian Lee and shit. Undertaker owe him something for that and shit. So I don't know. So maybe because he played fake Undertaker, Undertaker felt he could steal the American badass gimmick. I don't know, but
Tit for tat.
that's fair. But only thing is, somebody paid him to be fake Undertaker. WWF paid him to be fake Undertaker.
I mean, and Vince paid Undertaker to be fake American badass.
Touche.
The real American badass and undead bulldozer Brian Lee then grabs the mic and says, I quote, Terry Funk, I know your daddy would roll over in his grave knowing his little girl got his ass whipped.
Yes.
Hashtag dead.
Oh, man, so fucking awesome. Oh, man, I am a Brian Lee mark for the rest of my life.
He then continues on and says, Mr. Legend, you're looking at a legend killer. Funk then talks shit, but he gets headbutt. It's no sold. Funk slaps him back down and chokes Lee with the mic until Franchise and Cuck get him the fuck out of there. I bumped it up to a 4. HW, your thoughts of the post-match shit?
See, what Brian Lee and the Triple Threat need to keep in mind is Terry Funk's demon butt packed and shit. So, like, he allowed him too much time to regenerate and shit, because most normal people are not recovering that fast, no matter what's going on, to be able to fight that nigga off and absorb headbutts and shit. Unless, you know what I'm saying, you got that deal going with Beelzebub, and then, you know what I'm saying, you see how that shit manifests and shit. So when you beat that nigga down and shit, you gotta lock him in a coffin and bury that bitch and pour cement in the hole and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Joe Gertner is once again hosting Hype Central, but he stops because he has a hair out of place. He goes to the mirror and then combs his chest hair. Tremendous.
Well done, Joel.
From ECW Home Video, we have the Terry Funk Classic Edition series. And he's teaming with Stan Hansen versus Big Abby and Kevin Sullivan at Ultra Clash. Recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 26.
Oh, you're definitely not welcome on that.
He's teaming with his brother, Dory Funk Jr. versus the Public Enemy in a barbed wire match at Heatwave 1994. Recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 75.
Worse and worse squared.
And he's finally having his one-on-one face-off in ECW versus Cactus Jack at Hostile City Showdown 1995. Recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 120.
You're welcome.
We also have February 1st bumpers, a House of Hardcore shield, a catalog shield, a ECW t-shirt that's hazardous to your health,
Brian Pillman?
an ECW not for everyone t-shirt, February 7th, 8th, March 1st, and we end the Shilorama with a blue WO, with a BWO t-shirt spot. Moving on. Back with Joey at the Nest detailing the franchise and Francine's exploits since Heatwave 1996 on July 13th. When Shane re-tapped into the power of the Anti-Monitor and destroyed the Pit Bulls. Recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 207.
Oh, you are so super very welcome.
Then he shook Gary up in a body cast at Stipomania. Recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 223.
Oh, shit. You're joyously welcome on that one.
Putz was going to go for the TV title, but he got trash canned and thrown off of the balcony. Anthony got demon dropped, as he would have been the natural replacement for Putz. So there's no more immediate challengers for Shane's World Television title, thanks to the Triple Threat. Joey then throws it to the ring where the franchise and the head cheerleader are standing. Franchise in the ring. Francine looking skankalicious as ever, as Shane tells the Penguin, a.k.a. Geek Ortiz, to beat it. Francine then grabs him by the earlobe and ears him out of the ring. LOL.
Get your ass up out of here.
Shane then knocks out Finnegan for no reason whatsoever. I'd like to nominate Shane Douglas for 1997 Heel of the Year already.
Yes.
See you at the Sullies.
I confirm that domination.
Since Putz is in the hospital, thanks to the triple threat, he's got no opponent. He's looking for a fight, so somebody come on down and get beat up by the franchise. And then a tall man in a mask, lucha style, walks down the aisle. Shane Douglas then says, "Who is that? Juventud Guerrera?"
Oh, shit.
Masked Man grabs the mic and it's obviously Rick Rude.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And he says it's a new year and he's here to change ECW's direction. So he's here to fuck with the franchise. He asks the crowd if you want to see him fuck with the franchise. Crowd goes apeshit. Shane grabs the mic and he says, "If you want to fuck with me, why are you in a mask, Mask Man?" Mask Man grabs the mic back and he says, "2 reasons. If I take my mask off, you shit yourself, and everybody here doesn't want to deal with the stench." He goes on to say that there was a piece of shit that was the Niggas with Attitudes World Heavyweight Champion. And he said, to be the man, you had to beat the man. And it's no doubt that Extreme Championship Wrestling, Shane Douglas is the man.
Oh, shit.
But there's a guy in the back, ready, willing, and able to kick your ass. And if you can't prove that you're the man, then you're hung as a hamster. Yeah. Shane Douglas grabs the mic back, and I must note that with them growing back and forth, grabbing the mic, it still felt natural, as opposed to motherfuckers grabbing the mic and just saying lines.
Right.
They were going back and forth, and I felt that shit. It was cool. Shane Douglas grabs the mic the last time, and he says, "It can't be Putz or Anthony, because we took both of them pieces of shit. So that it can't be Putz or Anthony, because we took both of them pieces of shit out, and they're both in the hospital. So bring out your guy, Masked Man, and Shane will prove that he is the man in ECW." Thunder Kiss 65 plays. And out comes Fat Gear.
On the WWE Network, it was their version of the Pitbull Anthony's theme song. So, yeah, motherfucking Gary.
Fat Gary comes out, House of Fire. He's doing the backdrops, he's doing the elbows, he's doing the shitty-ass gorilla press slams. You know, Shane Douglas is bumping around like Ric Flair and shit. He's beating him up pillar to post to end the show. Overall, Gary.
Shane is the ultimate team player, because that was, talk about the ultimate record scratch and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of the nigga house party bumping the table and shit.
My nigga chill.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's motherfucker.
He trying to make your shit better.
Yeah, no.
We talking about Gary, not another surprise nigga, you know what I'm saying, that could pop the crowd. We talking about Gary.
I had to make sure that wasn't Rhino or something at first. Like,
that nigga was shaped like Rhino.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
I'm like, wait a minute, is that Rhino or Gary?
Fam. If this ain't the epilogue of the Pitbull tag team,
Rest in peace.
it's over for y'all niggas.
Arrivederci.
I'm going to say it like I said back in the day. Poor Pitbulls.
Yeah. They had promise at one time, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could have been right where the Eliminators at right now and shit.
Nigga get DDT'd on his neck and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shook up like an Etch-a-Sketch.
I'm all shook up.
Coming up next, finishing out this triple shot.
Oh, speaking of this nigga neck.
Extreme Retro Review number 248 is next week, January 30th, 1997. Until then, we out. Peace.
Peace.